Hey everyone, once again, Mathel here. Got a new spec to show. Bit of a melee build, but first of all, I've read a lot of comments, bit of criticism, bit of a constructive criticism really, about my shirtlessness or lack of clothes or so. So I've taken that on board, and yeah, I fixed that up a bit. It's really not fair to some people that are offended by the skin or think I'm doing it for certain reasons. I'm really not. If this makes you more comfortable, here it is. But I feel like I did forget something. Hold on. There we go. My sunnies. Alright, now we're good. So, what's the build I've got today? Build is... it's nothing too special. It's just... it's a melee Marauder with Cyclone. I'm going to call it my sprinkler spec because, as you can see, it's with our Reaper's Pursuit graphic thrown over the top of our Atziri's Disfavor, and when you spin the Cyclone spec, it causes a sort of sprinkler effect. So all in all, this build has taken about 8 exalts to build. This cost 5, and linked it myself using a Duresso's Defiance because, I don't know, it seems pretty cool, pretty useful for the spec. A Mings, which cost me 2 exalts, so these two were the bulk of the item cost, and then some random stuff I had lying around, and gear I've used on previous characters that you might have seen before. And then I found this thing, which is pretty nice. Using these flasks, just one instant flask, a Atziri's Promise, Quicksilver, Ruby, Topaz. Now the 3 auras I'm utilizing are Herald of Ash, Hatred, and Grace. That brings me up to 29.5k, and I'm currently level 81. You might not be able to see that because of cam, whatever. So what do we got? The spec itself, I'm starting as a Marauder. You can be any one of 3 classes, Templar, Marauder, and Duelist. So the spec, while it's not too bad, it's okay. It can clear just about everything, and it does it fairly well solo. It's also hardcore viable, I'd say. But if nothing else, I think you can use this type of build to level up your to 65 challenge if that's what you're doing for Beyond or Rampage on any one of these 3 characters. So we're just grabbing some melee, going through, got Resolute Technique, and up here, all sorts of axe talents. Need that for running 1 extra aura, bit of cast resist. Life, I'm slowly filling these out and these out. Down here, some more axe talents, 2 hand talents, passives, sorry. Through here, bit of extra range, bit of extra deeps, life, whatever. And extra axe talents there. Using Blood Rage for the sake of this spec. And I'll give it a go on a just regular Academy map. It's rolled for extra XPs. So the build, I think, it's actually pretty fun. It's pretty successful. You don't need a Atziri's Disfavor. I just really wanted to use this item at some point of my gaming career here. My previous axe before this had 80 less DPS. It had 500, and that thing cost me like 10 to 20 chaos. So the Atziri's Disfavor actually only improved my DPS by about 3,000. It's really not necessary. Pop out Blood Rage, and start your spin to winning. This is a Resolute Technique character. It won't have as much DPS as my previous one, which was... oh god, I ran out of pots. Whatever. Doesn't seem to matter, not a big deal. Running out of pots completely though, really sucks. So, what was I saying? Yeah, the dual wield sword guy, gonna have far better DPS because he's crit, far higher DPS ceiling. But this one's actually pretty safe for what it is. And yeah, I think I could easily take this character through hardcore if I wanted to. Now, you'll excuse me because I can hardly actually see anything with these sunglasses on. But, for the fans, gotta cover up that face too. Might offend some people. Yeah, like I can hardly see packs. Whatever. Get through it, I hope. Use the Vile Haste fairly often. It's good, it's useful. It regens pretty quickly. I'll show you my defensive tab after this as well. Because of Duress of Defiance and I didn't take Iron Reflexes, I have quite a bit of evasion and armor at the same time. With those endurance charges as well, it's pretty nice, defensive-wise. Biggest problem for the spec is, and for most melee specs, obviously is going to be spells. So as you can see, when those guys were flicker charging me, that one guy that nearly did some serious damage, he had extra fire, extra cold. It can hurt. I'm capped to resistances, 75 to each. So, I mean, I'm doing just about all I can there. And the build, as you see on the passive tree, you can get a lot more life if you want it. I'm pretty happy with my life at the moment, so I'm still trying to fill out some more damage. Probably take this character to Atziri sometime soon. Maybe make a video of that too. Probably not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, this type of build, but I think it's pretty good to at least get to 65 for your challenges if you need to. And otherwise, I'm having a fair bit of fun still. Leveling up, spinning, being fairly tanky. His Reflect doesn't really do anything. With a cast on damage taken, Immortal Coal, and like a permanent 3 endurance charges up because of Duress of Defiance. So, this build and character can run just about every single map mod. And I have been. Not a big deal at all. There's not too much else to say really. I'm only using a 5-link for the Cyclone with Blood Magic because I don't know. Cyclone has pretty insane mana cost, especially when you're like spamming it and just not what's the word I'm looking for? Like kind of misusing it. Not even misusing, but if you like spin from here to here a lot, you use up a lot of casts, and if you were running it on mana, you just wouldn't be able to support it. So that's best for like single targets and such. Where's he pointing? That way. Because I can hardly see. Little bit of desync there. And use Leap Slam to move around. Save your Quicksilver pot for the spinnings. Typically, how I do it. I don't have a curse immune flask, so you're gonna see me just with permanent curses up. Doesn't really matter. While the spec is pretty good, its biggest weakness will be bosses, I guess, or high single targets with high amounts of life. Because it's not a crit spec, you will run out of flask charges, and you kind of need those to live against certain monsters. It's one of the biggest drawbacks of these melee Resolute Technique specs. While you can't get as much damage as a crit spec, you also lack in utility a bit. It's still doable if you want to make a go of it. And I think with like a mirror weapon and perfect gear and all that, and another 10 levels or so, we'd be able to hit something like 50k Cyclone DPS, which is pretty respectable. And I think this build will be pretty capable of Atziri. Should be pretty doable and easy is what I mean to say. Pro tip, I fail most of my Varichi missions just so I can kill the Exile because it's worth more to me than whatever garbage XP and rep he gives. So that was just a pretty easy Academy map. I haven't gone hard in 76s yet, I'm only level 81, so I don't need to. What else can we say about the build? Most of the Leech will come from Blood Rage. A lot of it is... I think it's all coming from Blood Rage actually at this point. Blood Rage and a bit of your regen, but your regen at the moment, for me, from, where is it, here 1% and here 1%, it's mostly used to counteract Blood Rage. If you choose not to use Blood Rage, it's going to be a bit harder to get your physical Leech up. Plus you get the Frenzy charges from Blood Rage, pretty nice, 15% increased attack speed. As you can see, I haven't optimized shit. I'm still using a 2-circuit, 2-link there. So I don't even know why I have a faster attacks in there anymore. But it's there, deal with it. Mings is pretty nice to have. They're pretty cheap right now. So as you can see, 29k without the Mings, down to 26k. Gives me about 3000 DPS. And it's all chaos, no chaos, and plenty of chaos, which bypasses energy shield. Bypasses a lot of resists that other mobs have. It's a pretty nice item to have because it also fills out a lot of your chaos resist to help you run Blood Rage. First time I've ever really utilized the item itself. And as I said, it's Series' favour. Let me see if I can find the other axe. I think that's the one. This is the axe I bought for like 20 chaos. And it's hardly worse than its Series Disfavor, which really disappointed me. I was kind of hoping this thing would be, super beast, but it is what it is. So let's have a look. 29k. Son of a bitch. Forgot it was linked in there. Let's just look at the tooltip. Default attack 11k, 11.4, 10.5. It's pretty disgusting. It's like a 10% increase, this thing. So yeah, point is, it's not an expensive build. And I think it's pretty hardcore viable if you want it to be. You can fill out plenty of life. A life point there. A whole bunch of life here. If you want, you can go for Ondar's Guile. That was going to be my original plan. To go out here, Ondar's Guile, and then here. But after playing it for a while, I feel like I don't need the extra projectile evasion. So I saved points by not doing this. So while these life nodes are pretty good, and Ondar's Guile is pretty good, there's some travel that's a bit wasted. So I chose against that by about level 75, and I committed to a different route, which is just going to be filling out those and filling out these. And that. Possibly these two, because Chaos Resist is actually pretty nice for my current playstyle and such. And yeah, Sprinkler spec, because that Reaper's Blood Reaper, whatever, which is achieved through skin transfer, which is a microtransaction. Just slap it on there. I did it through every axe I used on the way to this level. Actually, I should talk just a bit about leveling. Leveling is pretty goddamn simple. Pick up any skill you want. I was using Cleave for about 20 levels. And then Double Strike with Melee Splash for a while because Cyclone just wasn't that efficient early on. Probably started using Cyclone around level 40, level 50 with Blood Magic attached. And a 3-link, I think, because it's not a big deal. Just have Blood Magic, Melee Fizz, and Cyclone. Your next order of business is faster attacks, and then added fire. Not even sure what I'm going to put a 6-link in, if I get a 6-link. It's kind of up to you guys. I'll probably just make a little thread for it, and put up my passive, my gear, link to this video. I don't think it's an original spec or anything. I'm pretty sure people would have made very similar ones to this already. So there's nothing new or innovative here, but I was just kind of curious to see how the melee side of things with 2 hands work out. And I don't know, I'm pretty happy with the result. So by all means, try it out yourself. Maybe level up a character just for your achievement on any one of these 3 starting nodes: Templar, Marauder, or Duelist. And then maybe take it further if you decide to. It's up to you. I'm probably going to get a few more levels here, maybe do an Atziri run, and go back to the Duelist and see if I can take down Atziri. I think. Because that character just has a bit more potential end game. For DPS, that is. Yeah. So that was just another video from me. Another bit of a spec. Not anything special this time, like a fake now, which is next level game ruining spec. This is just a bit of fun. Pretty good spec. Build. If you go by old standards, that is, anyway. So yeah, once again, Mathel with a shirt on. And thanks for watching, guys.